American farmers harvest ripe tomatoes in the field, but unfortunately, those tomatoes would be damaged during transportation, creating a big loss for the farmers. Therefore, during mid-1990s, scientists from a company called Calgene came up with a brilliant idea to increase the shelf life of the tomatoes. They were very successful in creating tomatoes with longer shelf life, but unfortunately this technique proved to be a greatest failure in the industry of agriculture, attempting to create transgenic crops or genetically modified crops. Why the first genetically modified tomatoes were a great failure? In this video, let's find out how scientists created genetically modified tomato with longer shelf life and how this became one of the greatest failure in the history of genetically modified crops. First, scientists discovered an enzyme, polygalacturonase, which is written as PG in short, and it dissolves the cell wall pectin of the fruits and makes the fruit softer and ripen faster. They used RNAi technology to suppress the accumulation of the PG enzyme by using reverse orientation of the PG gene, which is also known as antisense strand, and this is opposite in the orientation. Scientists delivered this sense and antisense copy of the PG gene in the tomato to suppress the function of the PG gene and reduce the accumulation of PG enzyme. Researchers were successful in suppressing the 99% function of the PG enzyme in the tomato plant, and they reported only 1% of the PG enzyme accumulation in that transgenic plant. And this slowed down the dissolving of the cell wall and thus increased the shelf life during transportation. And this tomato was popularly called as Flavr Savr Tomatoes. This technology proved to be successful, and thus United States Food and Drug Administration, commonly known as FDA, approved this product, Flavr Savr Tomato, for production and sale in US markets. As a result, these Flavr Savr tomatoes or transgenic tomatoes were introduced in the market in 1994. These transgenic tomato paste cans were sold in the US market in collaboration with the grocery giants Sainsbury and Safeway. And this was a big hit at that time, and it outperformed the conventional tomato paste. These tomatoes were sold in the US market from 1996 to early 1999. And then after 1999, there was no sale of this tomato. So what happened? Now let's talk about the downfall for the transgenic tomato or Flavr Savr tomato market. The sale of these transgenic tomatoes started to massively decline from August 1998. So what happened during that time? During that time, scientists were working on a project to identify the effect of transgenic plants. At the same time, they studied the biological effect in rats by feeding transgenic potatoes. It was not tomato but transgenic potatoes. So after feeding, they saw some biological changes that was not good, and all the biological effects seen in the rat were linked to the technology itself, genetic engineering, not the gene used in the genetic engineering technology. So the changes in biological activities of rats were seen, and it was known to the public, and then public became very aware of the transgenic crops, and then the interest of the public towards the transgenic crop declined, and everything started to downfall after that. Due to public disinterest, the grocery giants Sainsbury and Safeway said that their product will not have any transgenic product in the future because they had to survive in the market also. Therefore, they did that decision, and these products never came back in the market again. Later, more experiments were done to test the transgenic product and the biological effect, and it was found that those findings before were incorrect, but by that time the damage has already been done and those tomatoes never returned to the market again. This is a great example of public acceptance and rejection regarding a new technology when it hits the market and the product derived from that technology. And once the damage has been done, it's not easy to change the public perception, and this resulted in the failure of a very successful technology. And please let us know, what do you think about the story of Flavr Savr Tomatoes? Are these genetically modified products good or bad for us? Please let us know through comments. See you in next video.